Welcome into the news portion of DSI. I'm Jordan Kudish. The Omicron variant is causing a startling uptick of cases and hospitalizations in one age group that is most vulnerable to its effects. According to Nemours Children's Health, they've seen an uptick of cases and severe hospitalization for children as the Omicron variant wave continues to surge. Doctors at Nemours Health says during the previous Delta variant wave, they would see 1 or 2 children come in a day, but now those numbers are growing.
This past week, it's been over 20 almost every day, and we had a day where we approached 30 inpatients with COVID. This is the most vulnerable population right now to COVID in our country, and I think we're seeing a lot of spread in those age groups because of it.
Dr. Miller tells us that while you might be hearing that the Omicron is a milder variant, all the data that scientists looked at to make the call was in vaccinated adults in the United Kingdom. He says in his experience, he has seen the most amount of kids come down with severe sickness with this new variant compared to any other time in the pandemic. And also in COVID-19 news, researchers from the Columbia Medical School have found that children born in the pandemic are falling behind on key markers for childhood development. The study, originally looking to see if mothers having COVID during pregnancy affected their children, instead found losses in motor skills, language, and socio-emotional learning. The study points to high levels of stress in mothers, as well as a lack of socialization through programs like daycare and childcare, both in low supply during the pandemic. A local child psychologist tells 47 ABC that while that may be cause for concern, children can still bounce back.
There's a lot that we can do to intervene. There are a lot of ways to catch up on a lot of interventions that can happen to support kids even as young as these infants.
Experts say the #1 way that parents can help is to reduce their stress levels when interacting with their children and engaging in extended activities. We're also told that if you're worried your child may be falling behind, it's important that you schedule an appointment with a doctor. And we move now to Rehoboth Beach, where 47 ABC's Jordy Clark got an up-close look at the city's comprehensive development plan, which was initially on pause due to the pandemic.
We have diligently tried to work our way through this process, but we're not done.
The 2022 Comprehensive Development Plan for the city of Rehoboth is essentially guiding residents to the future. The document shapes the city decisions on many topics: land use, zoning, community character, profile, and much more. Something I'm told impacts everyone.
Both residents who live here, people that may be thinking about coming to the city, things of that nature.
Among the many topics and concerns laid out in the CDP are housing, economic development, land use, and recreation. But Michael Bryan, chair of the Planning Commission, tells me there's been a large emphasis on outdoor dining.
It may affect population and demands upon services of the city. If more people are living in Rehoboth full-time by way of telecommuting, that changes what your water and sewer needs are.
Wallace Montgomery, a planning and engineering firm, was hired to assist the city in completing the plan. Lauren Good, a consultant from the firm, says their major focus is the public and how their input can better shape some of the plans in the CDP.
Something that the city is looking for and can implement and use over the next 10-year period or so.
I'm also told the document needed to be user-friendly to best help the residents who it will affect.
Hopefully that those who live in the city and work in the city and whatnot can have a document that you should be able to read in 60 minutes or less.
Both Bryan and Good agree, although they're still drafting plans, public input is the only way they can move the plans forward.
Hopefully at the end of the day, the Board of Commissioners will find what we're working on to be acceptable and it can be forwarded to the state for approval.
The city of Rehoboth has several other approvals to get through by the state, but their upcoming public hearing on January 13th is essential to move forward. And if you're a resident of Rehoboth Beach and would like to take a look at the plan and give some input, we'll have a link to it on our website, that of course 47abc.com. And it's time now to talk some housing. Mortgage rates on the rise, and a local realtor has some advice for prospective home buyers on Delmarva. A realtor with Coldwell Banker Resort Realty says with interest rates on the rise and home prices staying steady, now is the time to buy. We're told some buyers may be waiting for those prices to drop, but if they wait while the interest rates are rising, they'll ultimately are going to pay a lot more throughout the course of the home loan. Also, if you buy a home at a higher price but with a lower interest rate, you'll have a cheaper monthly rent.
Let's say pricing does decrease, but interest rates increase. So that house that you were looking at that was $400,000 is now, let's say, $360,000. But now your interest rate is 4%. That 1% increase in an interest rate can cost you a significant amount of money.
We're also told if you're able to pay in cash, that is the best option. And now we're going to toss things over to Chief Meteorologist Daniel Johnson for a look at your weekend forecast.
Well, Jordan, I hope you have your heat turned up because it's going to be a very cold night tonight. Temperatures dropping into the teens. Wind chills could get into the single digits in a few spots. This is our Morse Roofing and Siding sky cam in Rehoboth Beach. You can still see a couple of piles of snow, a little bit still out there, but overall, a lot of it has melted already, and we measured an inch on the downtown plaza early this morning. 24 degrees right now for Chucky and Lewis. Our weather watcher, Ted Millsboro's 25. It's 27 for John and Fenwick. Over in Ocean Pines for Jean, 26. Josh and Marion Station sitting at 27. Right here in Salisbury, it's 25 degrees. Dover's 23, but when you factor in the wind chill, this is what it feels like. Wow, it feels like 12 right now in Salisbury. It's not going to be a fun walk to my car. Feels like 16 in Georgetown, 14 in Ocean City. And this is why the winds are coming out of the northwest. And these are sustained winds between 10 and 20. And those winds are going to stay a little gusty overnight tonight. Again, these are actual temperatures across the region. 3 below in Alpena, 14 in Pittsburgh, 25 right here in Salisbury. The sky is clear. High pressure dominating, but it's beginning to build in. So we're going to stay a little bit breezy until that high pressure really dominates. Temperatures pretty cold. Wind chills down to near 10 in a few spots tonight. Tomorrow, we don't warm up much, just a few degrees above freezing and a lot of sunshine in the forecast too. Overnight tonight, we're dropping to near 20, but I do think a lot of us will drop into the teens. Tomorrow, just barely above freezing as we head through the afternoon hours. Now, your marine forecast does call for light winds there on the Atlantic and the Chesapeake. A little bit of a breeze hanging on to the Delaware Bay at 10 to 15 knots and seas right around 2 to 3 or 2 to 4 feet. So as high pressure begins to build in, our winds will finally die down for tomorrow. Lots of sunshine too as high pressure continues to build in. But that high pressure retreats and then a cold front pushes through by Sunday. By the afternoon, some showers north of Salisbury. By dinner time, those showers arriving in Salisbury, and the showers could be heavy at times Sunday night. Some yellows and oranges showing up through the overnight hours into very early Monday, but by Monday afternoon, we're looking at partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies and then maybe some mountain snow showers. But we are going to get a break on Delmarva from the snow for the next 7 days here. We've already measured about 6 inches of snow total in these two storms here in Salisbury. It's just going to be plain rain late Sunday, up to 50 after a high of 35 on Saturday. Then the coldest air of the season is here on Tuesday, highs in the 20s. That's the first time we've had highs in the 20s in 3 years. Overnight lows into the teens, and then next week we get close to 50 degrees by Thursday and Friday. You're watching DSI. Keep it here. We'll be right back.